I've been wrestling with a prototype for a new fanny pack style bag, and after a few attempts, I was honestly ready to quit. The bag has a lot of seams, and I was struggling to bind them cleanly with Grosgrain. I was fiddling with basting tape, trying to keep it even on both sides, only to have it look messy once it was sewn. A swing-away binder normally would make binding easy, but they're more so designed for him-to-bias tapes like this, which is thicker and more stretchy than Grosgrain. For this bag, I need to reduce bulk as much as possible, which is why I, and a lot of other bag makers, prefer Grosgrain. So I stopped working on the prototype and decided to solve the problem of how to reliably sew Grosgrain ribbon with a binder. So here's everything I learned while testing, as well as my ideal setups for the Ultrafeed LSZ, LS, and Fabricator machines. Each machine has different feet and feed dogs, so the setups will vary slightly. I also want to note that the information in this video applies to walking foot sewing machines, and that the binders I'm using are compatible with many non-Sailrite machines as well. Before we start sewing, I'll briefly show you how to install the binder and share a few rules of thumb that apply to all machines. The binder mounts with these two screws. Once installed, you can adjust it front to back using these mounting screws, and left to right using the thumb screw. You can also swing it out of your way when it's not needed. As a general rule, position the binder's exit point as close to the center foot as possible. The more distance there is between the exit point and the needle, the more chance it has to become misaligned. You should also make sure that the fabric guide, which I'll call the fence, is not interfering with the feed dog. Adjust the binder from left to right until the needle falls about 1/8 of an inch from the edge of the Grosgrain. For best results, use 1/4 inch seam allowance on your project so that after you sew, the binding fully covers that stitching. Since this video is geared towards bag making, I'll be focusing on our smaller binders, which are the 3/4 inch and 1 inch. So let's start sewing. On the Ultrafeed LSZ, the smallest binder I recommend for Grosgrain is the 1 inch. The right side of the feed dogs interferes with the fence on the 3/4 inch binder, so it doesn't allow you to position it close enough to the needle in my opinion. You can use the binder with either the regular foot or the left zipper foot. Position the binder fence just to the right of the feed dog and set the needle to the right position. I also like to place a magnetic guide behind the arm to act as a stop, because I don't like any movement in the arm while I'm sewing, because even a small shift can cause some alignment issues. To start sewing, feed the Grosgrain through the binder and hold it folded evenly in place with your finger. Lower the foot and drop the needle to pin the Grosgrain evenly on top of itself. You can sew a few stitches here to secure both sides together, but I didn't do that here because there was no fabric or Grosgrain under the left zipper foot just yet. Next, butt your fabric into the binder and up against that sunk needle. Then sew forward 1 stitch. This is the first stitch that goes through all the layers, so it's going to establish the start of the seam. At this point, sew forward and reverse 1 or 2 stitches as usual to lock it in. As you continue sewing, guide the fabric along that fence and focus more on the exit point than the entry point in the binder. Watching the exit ensures the fabric is fully seated into the binding without leaving a gap. It is possible to push the fabric too hard into the fence, which can cause it to curl up into the binding. I've only seen this happen on single layer assemblies, but it's something to be aware of. After sewing, check your work by running your fingers across the binding to make sure the fabric is fully nested inside. Then check both the top and bottom to confirm all layers were caught. Then trim the excess and melt the edge with a hot knife or a lighter. On this sample, I cut right through the binding to show you what the cross section should look like. When binding curves with Grosgrain, they must be gentle curves. Grosgrain does not stretch, so tight or inside curves are just not going to work well. But as long as the curve is gradual, it's going to look nice. A little puckering may show, but that's to be expected. Now moving to the Ultrafeed LS. This is a straight stitch only machine and there's no right side feed dog, so I can use the 3/4 inch binder, which is my preferred size because the binding looks a little less prominent. You can use either the regular foot like I am or the left zipper foot. Since there's no left, center, or right needle positions on this machine, the only adjustments to make are on the binder. And all the same rules for the last machine apply to this as well. I'm still using that magnetic guide behind the arm, and you might wonder if that interferes with reversing. But in all of my testing, the Grosgrain slides so smoothly through the binder that reversing is not an issue with that stop in place. All of the sewing techniques from the LSC apply here as well, so instead of rehashing those, I want to show you a different challenge. This is a boxed corner that's going to get flipped right side out. Before I bind this, I want to reduce bulk by trimming those corners. Sew the binding in 2 passes, making sure to backstitch once you reach that angled cut. Then trim the Grosgrain at the same angle at the corner and melt the edges together to seal them. Then just do that same process on the other side. This may look a little less clean on the inside with that cut corner, but it dramatically improves the appearance on the outside corner, which is what most people see. The setup on the fabricator is very similar to the LS. I'll again use the 3/4 inch binder. And by the way, larger binders work the same. I'm just demonstrating the smallest compatible sizes because I think they look best for the types of projects I make. For this final test, I wanted to bind something a little bit more challenging. I'll sew a circle and go over a thickness transition. This sample has multiple layers of heavy 18-ounce cotton canvas and a pocket with a double hem to create myself a speed bump. Since it's a circle, I had to use 1 clip to hold the binding in place to get me started. Curves are always more difficult, and there's less margin for error for 3/4 inch binding compared to larger sizes. Since it's more narrow, it's easier to miss a layer as you sew. Then add in a thickness transition, and this becomes pretty challenging. But I figured if I could bind this, I would be ready to confidently go back to my project and apply these techniques. And I'd say that looks pretty nice. I used a contrasting thread throughout this video, but normally I would use the same thread color as I would binding so that it blends in and looks a little bit cleaner. I'm super happy to eliminate the process of using basting tape, clips, or pins to install Grosgrain on my projects. And if you want to try this setup for yourself, I'll link the binders and Grosgrain that I use in the description box below. Thanks for watching, and keep your eye out for our next DIY project because I can finally get back to finishing that bag. See you in the next one.